Allison Barbosa, and I'm delighted to be chatting today with Elena Gomez, Global Head of Domestic Payments at Citi, based in Dublin. Welcome, Elena.
Hi, Allison. It's great to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Today, Elena and I will be exploring the exciting instant payment space, looking at how it's revolutionizing the traditional payment methods, and we'll also discuss the challenges businesses face with the growing use of this technology. Elena, let's start by telling our audience a little bit about your role at Citi and how you got there.
Thank you very much, Allison. So I have been at Citi for 18 years. I am currently the Global Head of Domestic Payments. So I manage our domestic payment network and offering globally, including instant payments, which is a very exciting space. And, through my career at Citi, I have, worked on different roles from operations to project management, product management, so a lot of experience and always around payments. I think payments is my expertise and my passion.
Fantastic, Elena. Why are instant payments so innovative?
So when looking at instant payments, it's easy to focus on the great advantage that they bring in terms of paying faster or being able to pay later in the day, because most schemes already support 24/7. But there is really so much more that instant payments bring to the table, and these innovations really have the power to transform payments across the end-to-end value chain. For example, when we're looking at some of the key advantages, I really want to highlight the enabling of end-to-end tracking and the real-time feedback that you receive during the lifetime of a transaction. So every transaction in instant payments has a unique reference that is carried out end-to-end. It includes any confirmation, rejections, returns, requests for information. They would all have that unique reference. Additionally, almost all instant payments schemes also support the positive confirmation when a transaction has been completed or credited to the beneficiary. So this doesn't exist in the majority of traditional payments like ACH, and it really enables a straight-through reconciliation, also the creation of a much better client experience. And it's a feature that is really the pillars of a lot of other innovations like request to pay that is happening in the market. We can also talk about other innovative features like, the supporting of payment to aliases or proxies. So being able to pay to an email address or a phone number. And this really eliminates the need to collect banking details, right? Bringing very significant convenience and creating a very flexible way to making payments. If we're looking then into how these are innovating in the collections space, we see things like QR codes, request to pay, really enabling instant payments as a collections proposition and offering a low friction and low cost alternative to things like credit cards and cash. So by offering instant payments as a collection method, we're also able to reach to a non-card population, right, and provide more consumer choice. So these are really benefits that can be realized by both consumer and merchants. And when we compare all of these features and innovation with what traditional payments have been able to offer, these developments are really opening up a myriad of new use cases.
That's fantastic. It's amazing the type of transition that's going on in the market. Can you talk about how businesses are leveraging instant payments today? And what, in your opinion, and you mentioned a little bit earlier about use cases, so what are some of the use cases and what are the benefits of instant payments?
Yeah, and I think it's so exciting to see how different corporate digital natives and different type of organizations are really using instant payments to their advantage, right? I want to highlight a few from maybe the payout side first and then the collection side. When we're looking at the payout side, I would say on-demand payments is definitely one of the use cases that have grown very significantly in the past couple of years. And it's really enabling the reinvention of business models in many industries. So as an example, we can look at the shared economy, right? And, such as ride hailing or food delivery. And they tend to work with independent contractors. And their success is in part how they attract that talent and how they retain those contractors and workers. And by offering instant payments and on-demand earning payments, these companies are starting to provide a much better payment experience and something that can differentiate them from the competition. This paying as you earn can also be very attractive for many people, right? And not just task forces, right? We're seeing, for example, in the insurance industry, instant claim payouts, right? So a much different experience to what we've had in the past. Now you can provide an enhanced customer experience, visibility on where your claim is. And the moment you're told you're getting paid, actually you can see the money on your account. A very different experience to what we've seen in the past. More applicability can be found on other areas like the airline space, for example, paying compensation claims instantly, providing much more visibility on the process, and also instant payouts for loans, for example, right? You get a loan approved and you have availability of that money pretty quickly. On-demand cash outs or top-ups is another key use cases that we're seeing growing in the industry. And this is, the ability to top up any proprietary wallets, right? It could be, your account with a mobile company, or it could be any other wallet that you use on your day-to-day. And not only these use cases are enabling growth and all of these best class experiences that I've just talked about, but they're also really helping moving money faster, right? Tapping into a wider population and enabling economic inclusion, right? And on the collection side, we're seeing, again, great innovation, many more use cases. And I would say in many countries, you can already see instant payments as an additional checkout payment option, whether it's online, actually, or whether it's actually at a point of sale. And, this is being enabled by QR codes or request to pay. And they really have advantages for both the consumer and the merchants, right? They provide low-cost options. They also enable digital options to those consumers who may not have access to a credit card, right? And as we spoke about before, by combining these solutions with utilizing Elias, it also provides convenience, right? The ability to just pay using your email address or your phone number. So very exciting things that we're seeing, and all of this is developing very quickly in certain regions like Asia. We're seeing it picking up in Latin America, and I think we can expect to see this picking up all around the world.
Yeah, it's so amazing, and again, like you said, it's all about client experience, right? And I think that's where people are seeing that we need to start differentiating ourselves.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Payments has become a hot area for innovation. Why do you think instant payments are so important among all these innovations?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a very exciting time to be in payments at the moment, right? And I would say a fun time, right? Exploring all of these innovations and what they can do, right, for our clients and our solution. But when I think about instant payments, I think what is really powerful about them is that they're really solving for real pain points, right? So some of the things we've just mentioned around, helping with the speed of processing, assisting with faster and straight-through reconciliation, allowing to have instant funds availability, all of these are day-to-day needs. And on top of solving all of these existing pain points, it is also enabling growth and allowing corporates to create new experiences for their clients. But, I've lightly mentioned it before, I think it also has a very positive impact on society, right? So this enabling economic inclusion, this enabling faster access to money, I think that's what really makes instant payments a game changer, and what we have seen many regulatory bodies also pushing the adoption and the creation of these schemes.
No, that's great. And I think you're right. There's so many benefits. And as you mentioned, it's really a game changer. So let's talk a little bit about the adoption of instant payments. What are the challenges facing businesses that are trying to move to instant payments, and what is stopping mass adoption of it?
Yeah, I think I would say, it's adoption at the moment is, it can vary a lot from a region to regional basis, right? In some regions, we're really seeing very significant adoption, right? For example, Brazil, which implemented PIX in the last couple of years, they have gone from under 50 million transactions when they started to processing over 2 billion transactions a month, right? And this is in under 2 years. We're also seeing the numbers in India, right? In 2021 alone, they recorded over 48 billion real-time transactions, right? As in Citi, we've also seen a very significant exponential growth. We're processing at the moment approximately 4 million transactions per day on average, so very significant number. But these rates again can vary significantly market to market, and some of this has to do with market practice and the payment culture, but it can often also relate to the approach that scheme operators and regulators have taken, right? Regulatory mandates certainly help with reachability, and once reachability is there and is very high, corporates can rely more on these payment systems, and therefore we see that adoption increasing. But the other angle is that they also present a significant shift in the way that corporates operate, right? So once you implement solutions like on-demand payments, this has a significant impact on the way that you operate, right? So your processes around liquidity management and the removal of manual processing becoming critical, all of this takes time, right? And it's a process of adaptation that many corporates are going through. And we're definitely seeing that the majority of the companies that process business to consumer and consumer to business flows are either already using instant payments or they are on their journey to implement these solutions, as these are becoming much more demanded by consumers. And from a business to business perspective, we're definitely seeing a slower pace of adoption. But looking at how looking at the advantages that we are seeing, many of our corporates who use these for the B2C and C2B flows, how these are realizing, I would say that we can expect this movement to move into the business to business flows, soon enough, and over the next few years. And also we're seeing some regulators already decommissioning ACH schemes in favor of instant payments, right? So I think watch this space, because the business to business flows could soon start migrating much more significantly into instant payments.
Yeah, no, that's great. I think, like you said, there's some really great numbers out there. It seems there's been a lot of adoption, and there's still room for progress, but it seems as though we're headed in the right direction. Elena, if you've had a stellar career at Citi, you've been leading the creation of a very large instant payments network that reaches over 60 markets. What are some of the key challenges for banks that offer this method? Can you share what you've personally observed on this journey and what you've learned?
Yeah, I think it's definitely been an exciting past few years, being part of the team implementing this great network of instant payments. And I'm definitely very proud of all of the work that we have done, and especially the recent new additions that we had of SEPA instant payments or PIX in Brazil. But some of the areas of focus for us while going through this journey, I think the first one I would want to call out is the technology, right? And having the right technology in place that can support these payments, which are a very significant departure from traditional payments, right? They are a very high speed of processing, high availability, almost 24/7 in every market, and that continued exchange of messages and information really requires a different architecture and a different technology to more traditional payments. So we're making very significant investments in our technology to be able to grow this space and to cater for all of these innovation and volumes, right? As payments become much more regular and much more frequent and smaller. Also, the speed in which markets are launching instant payments, not only new schemes, but actually new features. So we have had to accelerate our speed to market and also manage our commercial and regulatory demands very wisely. And on this space, we do try to stay very close to the industry discussions as new schemes and features are designed, so that we can be part of that creation process, share best practices, and making sure that the schemes are launched as efficient, right, and as valuable as possible. I think lastly, I would say that for us, it's about bringing the whole real-time proposition together. So instant payments is one component and it's very transformational. But it's not only about making payments, right? It's about creating the end-to-end solutions that can support our overall client needs, right? On these real payments and real-time space, right? So things like creating the right liquidity solutions that allow them to operate in this always-on environment, or creating the right API that can enable our clients to access information that they need in order to operate in this real-time environment. It's a whole ecosystem that we need to work on, and we really need to understand, what is the impact and the solutions that our clients need end to end, and not only on the specific payment space.
Yeah, no, interesting. And, it'd be interesting. You mentioned a little bit about how you're working on different ways to focus on instant payments. How do you feel instant payments will continue to evolve and shape the future of payments?
Yeah, I think, while we have seen a very significant amount of innovation, I think there is still a lot to come, right? So I think one key area that we're seeing at the moment is interoperability, which I think is very exciting, and it will create a lot more value for clients and more use cases. We're seeing many schemes, for example, interoperating now with wallets, right? So now you not only can make instant payments to accounts, you can make instant payments to wallets and therefore collections. So, it really expands the scope and the value of instant payments. Additionally, we're also seeing very exciting progress in relation to cross-border instant payments. So, for example, Singapore, the Singapore scheme is now connecting to other Asian schemes. And in Citi, this is definitely a very interesting space to us. We're already enabling cross-border instant payments in 6 markets, and it's something that we're working very closely to see how we can open up more corridors. But I think as use cases continue to emerge, and as more clients test the value of instant payments and continue to utilize them, we will see a lot of more innovation around their client experience and around the value add solutions that actually can be built on top of instant payments. So very exciting space. I think we've seen a lot of progress, but I think a lot more to come.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I think that there's a lot that we'll be looking forward to in the future. So some more to come, I'm sure. Elena, I'd like to close with a question that we ask all our guests on Pause for Payments. If you were to give career advice to the rising stars in our audience, what would that be?
I think it's, first of all, it's very important to work on what is your passion, and find your passion around, what you enjoy doing, what you're excited about doing, and not being afraid to try new things, right? Sometimes, you go for roles where, you think you're not sure whether you're going to love it, or perhaps it's just something temporary. But, there's always something you can extract out of every role that you do, and there's always some learnings that you take with you to the next thing, and who knows, maybe one of those roles might become your true passion, right? And you really enjoy it. But I definitely think when you're working on something that you like and that you're passionate about, you really excel a lot more.
No, thank you. That's great advice. I totally agree with you. I think having that passion is key to success, as you mentioned. So, Elena, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your insights. This has been a great discussion. I also want to thank the audience for listening as we explore the world of payments with Elena and all of our other top stellar, inspirational women leaders from around the world. So thank you again, Elena. This was really insightful. Very great discussion.
Thank you very much, Allison. Thanks, everyone.